All right, Cancers. So your underlying energy is the Knight of Swords. It's very interesting. Gemini got this as their outcome. So Cancer, right now, I feel like you may need to start standing for what you believe in, going after what it is that you want, and standing by your truth right now. Okay, I do feel like is something here that needs to be fought for. There's something here that needs to be stood by, and I feel like it has a lot to do with what you believe in regards to your relationship, fighting for yourself, fighting for your integrity, fighting for what you believe is right and wrong. And I think it's the reason why you're combative possibly, or there's a need to be combative, or there is some combative energy. You guys could also be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But if this, the reason why there is some craziness going on, or there's a need to kind of stand by what you believe in, is because of something that could have changed, something drastically that could have happened, or that kind of came out of the blue, happened out of the blue. Okay, so unexpected change might have happened, and that is what's causing you to possibly be more on guard, I feel. Okay. So, with your current state of being, you guys have the Page of Wands. So, I feel like you guys do feel a little bit more inspired, ready to kind of take some action. This is all about adventures as well with the Page of Wands. Page of Wands could be messages. You guys could have received some sort of news, especially with the tower that came up underneath the Knight of Swords. This could indicate that there was some news that was been, spread about a certain situation in your love life. Or this is also about, ready to express passion, express yourself in your relationship, put passion back to what it is that you love. Now, where you guys want to be is you guys want to pause for a moment, take a rest, heal, especially with the tower that, that could have just happened, and finding, being very on guard, like I said, combative right now. I feel like you do want to take a rest because there is something that you have to stand for. There is a lot of, back and forth. This is about what it is that you're standing for. And I feel like right now what your goal is to just relax, is to just take it easy. But what's keeping you from relaxing or getting to this place of rest is the Hermit. Now, the Hermit does indicate that there is a need to retrospect, to go inside, not retrospect, introspect, go within and look for answers within yourself. This is a very confidence-driven card because you are looking for your answers. You know that you have everything that you need to get to where you want to be. The star is in your lamp, so you have the light that lights your way to get to where you want to be. But the thing is that I feel like you don't feel like you have the confidence to get to where you are, to get to a place where you can be relaxed. I don't know if you can truly see the details as clearly as you would like, possibly. Or there's somebody that is, that's detracted or reserved, or maybe you're having a hard time pulling your energy back and kind of looking within yourself. Perhaps you don't really know how to look within yourself for answers, or believe that your situation is external rather than internal. Okay. And the reason why you're having trouble with the Hermit is because of the Five of Swords. Perhaps that maybe you regret being selfish, regret making a decision, or had an empty victory in the past where you came out on top and maybe some other people got hurt and you don't feel good about it. Maybe it could be an empathic energy, right? You had to do what you needed to do, but you felt bad about doing it because you could feel the other energies. For, Cancers, you have the capacity to be very empathic. You can feel those energies. You are water sign, so that really makes sense why you're able to do that. But that shouldn't keep you from looking within, going inside, or with, introspecting, look within yourself, gaining confidence because you had to stand up for yourself. So that could be why there was some combative energy. For some of you guys, there could have been someone that, came in and was very ruthless to you, and very ruthless in regards to getting what they wanted and being very selfish, okay? And you didn't, you didn't get what you wanted, and you might have gotten to the bad end of it. So I do feel like for some of you guys, that could be the case, and that is, that is the reason why you need to look within yourself right now, and you haven't been. But I feel like this is one and the same. The Four of Swords and the Hermit are very similar because they do have a time of retrospection, or introspection rather. Introspection is important, but to heal from while you introspect is another thing. And the Hermit is pretty much talking about Virgo, so you guys could have been dealing with a Virgo as well. But I just feel like this combative energy is what's keeping you guys from looking within yourself. I feel like honestly, the situation here with this battle, whatever it was, it just brought you down. It brought you down badly, and it just makes you feel like you're not, it doesn't make you feel good about yourself, because the Hermit does have confidence in himself to be able to get to where he needs to be. He knows that he's got all the answers lying within himself. So he goes off and explores that, but I feel like you don't have the confidence even to do that right now. So I do feel like with your advice here, you have Temperance, which does indicate that there may be a need to manage yourself, manage your situation, manage you pretty much, and just kind of do nothing more. Just focus on yourself and keeping the balance. Manage yourself right now, guys, okay? Just keeping the balance right now. I do feel like right here, considering that your feelings is the Two of Swords, it's a hard decision to make. There's something here that you may not want to see, because it's too difficult to face right now. Again, the Five of Swords is indicating that, there was something serious that happened. Something went down. But with the Two of Swords here, I do feel like there is just, it's hard to really face the situation for what it was, for what happened, because of some things that just never really cleared up. I feel like this empty victory is just seriously affecting your confidence. Whatever fight or what happened in the past, it's just keeping you from being able to look past that to find a solution. Okay? It's like you're not able to find a solution to your problem because of something that happened in the past. But it's time to heal from that. It's time to work on yourself and give yourself time and balance yourself out, so that way you can see another solution. But right now, you're not having a hard time. You're not really seeing it clearly as you should. You're blindfolded right now. So I think really focusing on you, managing you, and taking your time with it, being patient and balance yourself out is what's going to, eventually, you have to, as divine timing kicks in, I think everything will kind of go into retrospect. I think things will things will happen in the way it's supposed to, because you're doing what you're meant to be doing for yourself. Now, for your hopes and fears, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe you guys, like I said before, y'all could be dealing with a Virgo. It could be a Cancer, so not a Cancer. It could be a Taurus or Capricorn that you're dealing with. But I feel like ultimately, because you guys are cardinal signs yourselves, this could be that you guys want to feel more confident and more stable in yourself, be able to manage your things. You don't want to work very hard right now, considering that you kind of already been through a battle. Like, you may not want to put in extra hard work, but I do feel like you guys want to you want to feel grounded. You do want to feel grounded. You don't want to feel like you're kind of floating and constantly at war. You want to kind of honestly build a place of peace to relax and to, reconnect with Earth. So, yeah, the Queen of Pentacles is, that makes sense. But the outcome does indicate the Devil. So facing some sort of power struggle, or overcoming some sort of, karmic situation right now. I feel like this person in your relationship is a bit toxic, considering what the Five of Swords and the Knight of Swords is indicating, a fight, like a brutal fight too. I feel like there is a bit of, power loss, okay? And I feel like you feel disempowered because of this argument, but it's right here. I feel like you have to find your power. You have to find your power, because this is talking about you feeling trapped in a relationship and not feeling like you have any power, not having any control in your life or your relationship. When you do, it's just the devil. It's not really his fault. It's what we do with the devil that gets us in trouble. So it's seeing the problem and not knowing that you have full control of what can happen. The chains around their necks here, around your neck, is loose. You can take it off at any moment. Okay. It's the constant, cycle of things, right? Doing something that you've been doing for quite a long time. It's just hard to break, right? It's a hard habit to break, but I feel like you may be going back to old ways of thinking, old ways of dealing with a situation. So, be very careful to do in regards to doing this, because because if your situation was this bad, you don't want to retract to all the behaviors that could get you, that could make the relationship or the situation for you a lot worse, just because now you have to deal with some other addictions that possibly have to come up. But it's also, guys, finding your power and building new boundaries for yourself. Because once you build those new boundaries, I feel like you guys will be able to recapture your power, recapture your strength, and be able to, flourish in your relationship, right? To really see the relationship for what it truly is, and then have your rest. But you can't have rest if you let somebody push you around, do whatever they want. You have to find your power in this connection, despite what may have happened. You have to empower yourself again. Find your power. And I feel like that's what needs to happen. You need to balance yourself out, take care of your business, do your 50%, and not overcompensate for the other person. Stick to your 50 and that's it. So that way you can empower yourself and know that you're doing everything right, and they're the ones that are not really handling their business. In which case can get you to a place of rest, because you know that you are in the right and they are not. So that also gets you to a point where you have to figure out what you're going to do in this relationship, right? So if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, then that puts you in a place of, advantage, I feel. Because like I said before, if they're not doing their 50 and you are, then what kind of dynamic of the relationship is this? Now I'm going to go ahead and pull you guys a romance angels. Okay. All right. So you guys have past life relationship, and it says that you've known each other before. So this is I feel like definitely this is a karmic relationship, because karmic relationships to me, and there was a lady that commented on one of my videos in regards to, like, she wasn't really certain about what it is. If I guess it was on Aquarius, and she said if Aquarians' love lives are karmic, then everyone's life is karmic, and she said it kind of doesn't make sense. Well, her comment didn't make any sense, because there's certain versions of karmic relationships. Not everyone has a karmic relationship, but then at the same time, not everyone has the same sort of karmic relationship. I see karmic relationships as past life relationships that are rippling into this relationship, right? You found each other in this lifetime, and there's something that needs to be completed from that period in the past, okay, in the past life. So if that is the case, right, so that makes more sense to me. You have soulmate relationships that teach you and show you about yourself and help you get to your highest potential, and karmic relationships do that same thing. This is something that's from a past life. It's a karma that's followed you to this dimension. Now, so that is what I feel like. So there's some karmic situations that you need to face of yourself, right? Something that needs to be, hashed out to empower you again. And I feel like this past life relationship is what's kind of going to get you there, but you have to remain strong and grounded in your belief. The Queen of Pentacles also knows her value. So perhaps I feel like you guys want to know your value, but all right, guys, your whispers of love, rather, is the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem to love. And I agree with this, because the Hermit does indicate that finding a solution is the main objective. He doesn't sit there and dwell on what's wrong. He looks for answers. And I feel like, guys, right now, there's a lot of need to look for answers. There's a lot of need to find a solution, but you don't know what the solution is. You're not looking for what the problem is. You're kind of looking at what happened and what disagreements went through, what went by. And you're having to kind of like figure out what you want to do with this, all right? Or you're just, honestly, it looks like you're dwelling in it, but don't. I feel like with the Temperance card, let me go ahead and pull an extra card for Temperance even. It's telling you to balance yourself and see things clearly with your emotions, being the Two of Swords. I know it's super hard considering what happened, especially with fighting somebody that you love and getting in a brutal fight at that. But if you're blind to what's going on or even refusing to see what's going on because you're trying to keep the balance, are you really giving your relationship any justice? Are you doing yourself injustice? Because even though the truth can hurt, at least it's the truth, and you can do something about it. You know what I mean? Now, if this is somebody, I just feel like I don't think this is somebody else. I really feel like this is you right now. Okay, the Queen of Cups, this is you. Balance you, balance your emotions, balance your situation, balance you, ultimately. Keep yourself in moderation. Always consider yourself when it comes to making decisions and maintaining your world. Because the Queen of Cups is all about how she feels. She receives information through her emotions. She's very intuitive, but she's also a healer. And it's time to heal right now. Healing of yourself. The Queen of Cups, she heals and she knows what she wants. She knows her love. She knows she knows the value of her love as well. She knows what she feels at all times. But I feel like moderating how you feel is a good step. Making sure you balance your emotions and heal yourself. It's good. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hard to do that if you don't see the situation for what it truly is. So it's time to be open and honest with yourself, and drop one of these swords and fight for what it is that you truly believe in. Handle your business when it's coming to you. Don't, if you're receiving some BS, you may need to handle it. Okay? I don't believe in being passive. So if there is something that's coming your way, someone is bringing their shit to your door, then I do feel like you guys honestly should just go ahead and deal with it. Just say, you know what? No, this is not what I'm okay with. I'm not okay with this.